Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 18, the final race of the first half of the season in terms of race schedule. We are at the Daytona International Speedway for the Pepsi 400. Hi, I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 9090, voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you here to this race. And today I am joined by two very special guest commentators, two legends of the NASCAR race in 2003 season community, or in our 2003 community. First, I am joined by Michael Norman. How are you doing today, Michael?
I am doing fantastic. It is great to be back at my home track of Daytona International Speedway, and I'm looking forward to a great race.
And my second guest commentator is Dylan Young. How are you today, Dylan?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here at Daytona. It's kind of close away too, not too far away as like Michael is, but I'm still in a good distance, so it's great to be here at the
You're like
Daytona International
you're
Speed.
like 3 hours from Daytona. I'm only like 45 minutes.
Still good enough.
Alright, so we are running the Pepsi 400. This is the first time this season that we are going back to an old track we ran earlier in the year. We ran the Daytona 500 here and the Bud Shootout as well. And we had some interesting moments take place, like in the Bud Shootout. The most infamous or famous moment of that race was Jessica Sheldon taking a wild tumble down the tri-oval across the start-finish line. And then in the Daytona 500, we ended up seeing Charlie Rodriguez win that race, and after that, he led the points for quite a bit. But he's been on a downward spiral in the past several races. But he's been starting to pick it up again. But we are now going to talk about some key characteristics of this track. It's Daytona, which means restrictor plates is always useful for this track, and pack racing is a big thing at this track as well as the draft. Now, they can go three wide and keep it together, but if they go four wide, be warned, you may cause the big one. We can all agree on that, right, gentlemen?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Woo. Sorry. So I just saw something good. But yeah, one of the key points for me being almost like a professional super speedway driver, because that's all I pretty much I'm like Dale Jr. That's all I really do good at is super speedways. But pretty much the point is for the first half of the race, you want to kind of stay in the back and just try to stay out of trouble unless you know you have a car that can lead and stay up there. Then you can, if you're up front, pretty much your goal is to try to get up to the quick front as much as possible. But if you're like mid pack, you might want to stay in the back and just hang out for a while, let everything play out to try to avoid some of the wrecks, and then just try to make your way up to the front around like with like at least 10 to go. Start making your way towards the front and try to stay on that inside line because the outside line will not go at this track.
So, yeah. And if they do go four wide, it's rare to see drivers keep it together and sell it back to three wide or even double wide, but then again, you never know. This track is very unpredictable when it comes to stuff like that. But nonetheless, also another key thing to keep an eye out is, of course, the big one. The big one always seems to happen at any plate track we run, whether it's Daytona, Talladega, Coca-Cola, or M&M's, or even Joe Gibbs International Raceway or Zen Joltis. There's always that chance for the big one to happen. And I've noticed that for the most part, the big ones have usually taken place around either turn 4 or turn 1. That's when I notice the big ones take place, but most of the time they come off of turn 4 when it happens.
Because that's when the banking sets back down from 33 to 18, I think, and that's a big change. And believe me, I've walked on that track. I've walked on the banking, and it's just it's hard. Cars will push up the track into others and stuff, and it's just really hard to stay off somebody if you're racing that close. Pretty much, these cars are racing closer than you and me park in a parking lot, and they're doing it at 200 miles an hour. So it's gonna be hell, but whoever comes out on top will most likely be the winner of the race.
Yes, indeed. And now we are going to go with the in-depth running order of the top 10 and then skim through the rest of the field. Starting on the pole, once again, if I can count, this is about the ninth time this guy has started on the pole, and he is a hell of a qualifier. Austin
Rocket Man.
LaPlante. Yeah, Austin LaPlante, he is on the pole once again and on the pole for this race. Austin LaPlante comes into this race 7th in the points, and he has the win from Bristol under his belt, so he is in a good position to make the chase at the moment. But he would love to get himself a second win so he can get a more bigger cushion to make that 10 race chase at the end of the season. Starting second is going to be the 16 of Charles Jackson, and he comes
Mayonnaise.
into this race, the mayonnaise. He comes into this race 15th in the points, and he hasn't had the win yet, but he's been stepping it up as of late as far as good finishes. What do you guys think of Charles Jackson?
He eats too much mayonnaise.
What Michael said.
But Charles, he struggles, and he it takes him a little bit to adapt to his surroundings. Charles started off okay, like you said, he hasn't got a win yet, but it'll come. Charles Jackson will surprise us all in a race, and he'll win it, and he'll have a good run, and it's just the way Charles is.
Yeah, Charles is a good super speedway racer. You could see him starting in the outside pole, but normally starting up in the front normally doesn't get its good advantages. So Charles got to be really careful at times too. So we'll see what will happen to the 16-3 M Ford.
Epic silence.
Huge epic silence.
Levi.
McIntyre.
I'm
There
sorry,
it
I
is.
apologize. I had to check something real quick. I apologize for that. But, anyways, starting third is going to be Trent Dunham. Now, Trent Dunham has had a pretty frustrating season. He comes into this race 28th in the points. However, he got himself a good finish back at Infineon last week. He finished in the top 10. But we shall see if Trent Dunham has what it takes to pick up his first win of the season.
And we all know Trent Dunham's luck at Daytona.
Yeah. And then starting fourth is going to be the 31 of Fred Schaefer. Now, this guy has been probably one of the most impressive drivers this entire season. He came into the season after the fourth race in Atlanta when Dylan Poteet left the series and left the 31 team. And since Fred Schaefer's been in that car, he has gotten a good list of great finishes. He came close to winning, if I can recall. He almost won back at, I want to say it was Charlotte. Finished second behind his teammate Michael Norman, but he could possibly get himself a win here tonight, here in the Pepsi 400. We will find out. And then starting and ending the top 5 is going to be the 47 of Seth Cole. Now, Seth Cole has had an up and down season. He comes into this race 27th in the points. We'll see if he can get a win and potentially get in the chase. Starting 6 is going to be Cody Hagan. Cody Hagan comes into this race, I believe, 17th in the points. We shall see if he can get a win. Starting in the 7th position is going to be the 88 of Cole Daly, who picked up his win back in Atlanta, ironically enough, when Dylan Poteet left. But he wants to get his second win of the season so he can get a bigger cushion to make the chase. Starting 8th is going to be the 13 of Dylan Thero. Now, Dylan Thero has had a pretty frustrating season. He comes into this race 29th in the points, but he's got a good starting spot to potentially get his first win. Starting in ninth, is our 3-time winner of the season, Barney Taylor, and he comes into this race in second in points, 32 points behind points leader Jessica Shelton. We'll see if he can get his 4th win of the season and tie the record with Chris Washer for most wins in a season. And then rounding out the top 10 is the 17 of Sonny Hammond, and he comes into this race 18th in the points. He's been around that top 20 pretty much all season long. We shall see if Sonny Hammond can get his first win of the season. As we skim through the rest of the field, we've got Chris Oliver, Austin Weiner, Matt McIntyre, Chris Washer, Nick Smith, Noah Hart, and there's points leader Jessica Shelton. Next to her is Rue McIntyre. Then it's Cody Lamas, Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Matthews, Daniel Day, Dylan Young, our Daytona 500 winner, Charlie Rodriguez, Eric Burden, Ian Siegel, Cameron Bailey, Henrietta Fitzwater, Jordan Culp, Danny Wells, Carlos Rodriguez, Tommy Mooney, David Rivera, Joshua Michaels, Michael Norman starting back here in, I believe, the 35th spot. And then it's Nathan Hudson, Chris Michaels, Ibrahim, Chris Dollarton, Henry Nova. And then the last row is Chris Nelson and Ian Dutta. That is a look at your starting lineup. We are now going to go green as the pace car is going up. So guys, what I want to ask you is, who are some of your predictions for this race? We'll start with you, Dylan.
Well, looking at the field here, and there's a lot of good people that could try to win this race. But I'm looking at that guy who's had a lot of good strings lately, and it could be the 88 of Cole Daly. I could see that happening there. Daly's been having some good runs. I think he could try to get a good win.
All right, Michael, what about you?
Well, I'm going to go with the guy starting third. He may not have a lot of luck at Daytona, but I do think that he can get it done today.
Trent Dunham?
Yep.
All right, well, the pace car's
Jeez.
pulling down the pit road, which means that we will go green when they come here to the stripe, and they're coming. So here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. And Austin LaPlante got a little jump, but he pulled himself away a little bit from Trent Dunham. And meanwhile, Charles Jackson up high, he's got Fred Schaefer right on his bumper.
So far, so good, though.
Already I see somebody trying to make it 3 wide, or at least I thought. Yeah, it's 3 wide back there with Henrietta Fitzwater. I believe that's Cameron Bailey and Charlie Rodriguez. And meanwhile, we see Trent Dunham going to the inside of Austin LaPlante. So it's 3 wide for the lead between Austin LaPlante, Trent Dunham, and Charles Jackson.
I actually see the 17s trying to peek underneath the 13, nearly trying to go 4 wide right there.
Oh, someone's on the apron.
Somebody's on the apron. Did they wreck? Nope, that was Barney Taylor. He's saved it.
He's still on the apron, though.
Yeah, let's go back here. Let's come back here to the 15. Oh, man, he's 4 wide. Oh, he gets sideways. He goes through the grass. Does he save it? Yeah, he is going to save it.
Look at the 3 and the 18 back there. They saw that happening, and they slowed down.
Oh, there's actually a lot more back there.
Oh, yeah, there is. They slowed down, but that's good because that means they avoided what could have possibly have been a good wreck.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't the 15. That was the 55 of Eric Burden, who comes into this race around, and he's in the 3rd position in the points, and that was not what he needed. But meanwhile, up ahead, they are still 3x3 pretty much all the way up. And look at who's coming to the lead, and the leader is Cole Daly.
Yeah, and you mentioned about that incident right there. That separated the pack. It made it into 2 big packs. You got this main pack here. That's about 28 cars, looks like. Then you got 3 single car packs. Actually, I think they all caught up to each other.
Yeah,
well,
not
quite yet. The 3 and the 18 are back there. The 3, 18, and 55, they're kind of doing the good thing right there. They're just hanging at the back of this lead
Nope,
pack.
and as we're saying that, we're seeing a 3 wide battle for lead. Matt McIntyre in the middle, Nick Smith to the bottom.
Nick Smith got a really good run off that.
Oh, they're 4 wide, 4 wide. This is not going to work. Oh, man, they settled it out.
They're in the,
oh, that's
in the
Seth Cole. That's Seth Cole who's up into the wall.
Oh, look out.
I think they're going to settle it back.
I think they are.
And that would bring the next pack up to him.
Not Joshua Michaels. Charles Jackson, he nearly got into the 47 right there. That was a close call right there.
Yeah, and as we see, at least for the moment, it is Nick Smith as the leader. Now, Nick Smith, he is coming into this race around in between the top 10, top 15 in the points, but he has been in the news in the series as of late because of his rivalry with Danny Wells that started back at Canadian Tire when Danny Wells, 4 wide for second. Oh, and we got a wreck! Chris Oliver, Dylan Thero involved. There's going to be more coming in. Wow, keep it together, guys.
Wow, they're just threading the needles in there.
I
Look at him
believe
bunched up
we
right
got away with.
there.
Oh, Trent Dunham's back here.
The
Cole
78 and the
Dally.
88's in it. 88 hit the wall a little bit.
But I think he's going to keep it together. Joshua Michaels got a piece of it. Dylan Thero, Chris Oliver. I think we may have gotten away with just a few cars. Oh, and we got a wreck up ahead. Jordan Kolb, Cody Hagan, Eric Burden, Noah Hart.
Oh, the Pete cars nearly got involved right there.
Seth Cole is in it, it looks like.
Oh, man. Chris Washer's got some side damage, but he's still going.
Careful.
I think these guys are going to settle it out.
Into the 11 right there. That was a close call right there.
Yeah. 2 different wrecks happening around the same time. And like I was going to finish my thought with Nick Smith being the leader now. He's been in the news in the NASCAR Walmart Cup Series in the last few races because of his rivalry that's been brewing big time between himself and the 29 of Danny Wells, who is back there around the 10th spot, I believe. Because it all started back at Canadian Tire, where Danny Wells flat out turned the 20 of Nick Smith and cost them both the race by going into the tire wall, and both retired from the race after that. And then it was back at Infineon last week. Nick Smith got payback and took out Danny Wells, and now these drivers are coming down pit road, so we're going to keep an eye out on
Looks
this.
like we're missing half the field.
The irony, that was road courses too in those incidents.
Yeah. Let's go to our pit lane cam to see who's going to come out first. But yeah, it's like Nick Smith and Danny Wells are just not been happy with each other. And we better hope they don't get around to each other, otherwise they could get into each other and cause a big wreck, and that is not needed here.
So I got a quote. We're all wrestling fans in here, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So do you know what the key point of winning this race is?
What?
Let's hear it.
You just have to believe.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
boy.
Not Bo Dallas. And it looked like Austin Weiner went with only fuel and he came out first. The 5 car of Austin Weiner, who, funny enough, won a plate race earlier in the year. He won back at Coca-Cola, which was just like 7 or 8 races ago. He could have a potential shot to win this race. After all, he is a very good play racer, despite a couple times he's been involved in wrecks. But he's got a fast enough car to win this race, and he just got out there with fuel only. He's going to get the lead. But meanwhile, while we're under caution, we're going to take a look at replays to find out what brought out the caution for the first time here at Daytona, as well as the incident that took place afterwards. Well, here's a look at what brought out the caution. They were 3 wide, now and then they were trying to go 4 wide. And Chris Oliver's up against the wall, and he just got a little hit from Jessica Sheldon, the points leader, into the 13th Dylan Thero. Wow, they both went up in the air. And then
The 11 got a piece of the 13 right there.
Yeah, and the 88, the 15, and the 1. Wow, how did they not hit that 88?
I'll tell you the luckiest one out of that had to be the 55. That was a close call right there, but somehow thread the needle. But I don't know how they wrecked again. That's the odd part.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's where Joshua Michaels is going to get his damage. He gets into Dylan Thero. He goes up into the wall,
And
and
the
then
one car still
down,
missed that.
down in the cold alley. I think Trent Dunham is the luckiest sumbitch of this tire incident. He got caught up behind it. He got caught up behind it, but he didn't get any damage.
Do we have a couple of on?
Oh, and now there's where the wreck's going to start up here. Wow.
ooh, and someone just went off pit road. Wasn't that the 8?
Yeah, oh, wait a minute. They're all on the apron. No wonder this wreck had to happen. They were all running on the apron.
Yeah, I think
4
something
wide
might
on
have
top of
happened.
that. And it looked like it's going to start when the 6 tries to come back on the track. He collects Noah Hart. Charlie Rodriguez got sideways, but he saved it. And then they all just piled in right there. Oh, and Jordan Kolb right into Chris Washer.
24 just got a bitch slap right there, but damn, that was just a crazy wreck right there. I don't know why these guys won the apron. That's the questionable part.
Yeah, and they
that's
could have
logic.
probably kept it together if the 6 right there, who's
I
at
think
the
it
very
starts with
front.
the 11. Look, the 11 kind of crowds. It looks like the 56. and
Yeah,
they
that
cut
is what
down
happened. That
into the
is what
6,
happened.
And the 11 sliding sideways, but is able to get away with it.
Yeah, that
it's
is
kind of a
exactly what
weird
happened.
incident there.
Yeah, let's take a look at the helicopter camera. This will give us a good perspective as to what really happened.
Yeah, you see the 6, the 7, the 38, 83, and the 8. They're all on the apron. Yeah, Jessica just crowds the 56 into the 6 car and just There they go. Just that's a lot of innocent cars right there. Just
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
getting
18 almost
31
got
was
into it
there.
as well. The
The
18, the
31 was
Daytona
in
500
that. The
winner.
55, the 34 of Chris Dollarton got a piece of it. I think Cody Hagan slowed it down enough to where he didn't get damaged, but Ian Dutta does get a piece of it by getting
yeah,
into
that was
the
just an uncalled
31.
for wreck.
Yeah. I mean, they could have kept it together with the drivers on the apron because they weren't really going all that fast, but it was Jessica Sheldon who crowded the 56 and into the 6 car of David Rivera, and that's where it all started. We're actually going to go through a few onboards. I believe we're going to go on board with Chris Oliver, David Rivera, Jessica Sheldon, and Noah Hart. All right, on board with the 21 of Chris Oliver, who was right at the front of when this first incident took place, into the wall and then turned by Jessica Sheldon.
That was
Funny
a couple
enough,
big
Jessica Sheldon
impacts.
started both incidents, funny enough.
That was a couple of big impacts there. Luckily, she's still able to drive away from that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there was smoke coming out of the car, and he is going to retire from the race. That's a tough break for our
Oh wow,
two-time
you can
winner this
actually see
season.
the other wreck too from Chris Oliver's view right there. Holy cow!
Yeah. Okay, and then the second onboard we're going to go to is going to be the 56 of Noah Hart, who was up here when this second incident takes place. As they're slowing down to take the caution flag, and there you see Jessica Sheldon right next to him.
Yeah, she just crowded him in right there and just that was just uncalled for.
Yeah. I don't know if NASCAR Walmart Cup Series is going to take any action to Jessica Sheldon for starting both incidents. We'll see whenever we go back green. Now, the next onboard we're going to have is going to be the 6 of David Rivera, who was the first car down on the apron whenever I guess they were slowing down.
Yeah, he just went in the apron. I have no idea. I think they were trying to avoid the wreck, but he couldn't get back up, so he just literally had no place to go.
And there you see the contact right there. And then everybody just piled in. But I think most of those guys are going to be able to continue because I don't think they got really too
The
much
50,
damage from that.
I just noticed that the 55 does have a little bit of hood damage.
Yeah. And now Jessica Sheldon, we're going to take a ride through this whole entire time. Back here to the backstretch where around this time the wreck is going to happen. Wait, the caution was already out.
Oh,
Just now came out right there.
Yeah, the
yeah,
caution already came out, so this wasn't the caution.
yeah. Sheldon got a little bit of damage right there. It really didn't affect her as much, but I actually do want to see though if she really turned it left towards the 56, and I kind of think she did.
Let's
Yeah, there's
see.
56 right there. Yeah, I think she kind of did.
Yeah, that was kind of uncalled for right there.
But yeah, I'm curious too what that caution previously came out for, because
Because,
you
yeah,
know,
we did not notice that the caution was already out before the whole incident with Chris Oliver and Jessica Sheldon took place. Let's
All right,
go
so let's
right
go
around
ahead.
to the back and see if
I
anybody
think
was
I
off.
may know
Oh,
exactly.
here it is.
Oh,
Oh, it
the
looks like
78
Joshua.
is
Wait a
also
minute.
involved.
Oh, the 78's involved again.
Wait a minute. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, they were trying to go four wide right there. The 47, the 77, the 33, and the 78. And the 78's going to hook the 33 right there. They keep it together, and then he hooks him again. This time, though, he doesn't save it. 33 is going to get loose.
And then
And,
comes up right in front of the 93 of Chris Nelson.
man, that is a hard impact, too. That was head on, too, for the 93 into the 33.
Yeah, we completely did not know that that was what the caution came out for.
So technically 3 incidents happened, but man, the worst of all that had to be for Chris Nelson right there. That is a tough break right there.
Yeah, and
Even
he's
Yeah.
smoking as well.
oof.
And he has had a pretty difficult season himself. He has just not been able to get going whatsoever. But
Yeah.
anyways, that is a look at what the incidents took place were. We will now take you to the restart.
7.
Alright, so pace car lights are out, which means we will go green flag racing next time by. Updated list of drivers out of the race. Only 4 cars are out of the race, and that is Chris Oliver, Dylan Thero, Tommy Mooney, and Chris Nelson. But everybody else who was involved in the other incidents are still on track, still on the lead lap. So we're
Yeah, but they're
fortunate
gonna
that
be.
those drivers are still out there.
Yeah, fortunate for them, but they're also gonna be really slow.
We'll
That's
see.
gonna be
That's
fun.
going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. But Austin Weiner with pit strategy went with fuel only, and he's going to be the leader. Matt McIntyre, our winner from, I believe, Canadian Tire, he's in second. Ian Siegel running third all of a sudden. Fourth, Austin LaPlante. Rounding out the top five is Dylan Young. Then it's our Daytona 500 winner. Keep an eye out on him, Charlie Rodriguez. Nick Smith, his teammate behind him, and then behind him is his teammate Jessica Sheldon. Now, before
Oh,
I
Joe
continue,
Gibbs.
NASCAR One More Cup Series told me they will not take any action, but if she does cause one more incident, then there will be a points penalty for causing 3 incidents. So they're letting her off with one more warning. Or if she does cause another wreck, that's going to be problems for her. Then it's Kyle Matthews and Cameron Bailey to top 10. Then Henry Nova, Cody Lamas, Carlos Rodriguez, Henrietta Fitzwater, Michael Norman, Chris Dollarton, Charles Jackson, Rue McIntyre, Daniel Day, Sonny Hammond, Zachary Fitzwater, Eric Burden, Nathan Hudson, Chris Michaels, Jordan Kolb, Ibrahim, Danny Wells, Ian Dutta, Fred Schaefer, Cody Hagan, Barney Taylor,
Oh, the green
Noah
flag is
Hard,
back.
Trent Dunham, Seth Cole, Joshua Michaels, Cole Daly, Chris Washer, and David Rivera. And we just missed the green flag, but we are green flag going now. And
So, yeah,
drivers are already trying to make
Jess,
double
I
up.
believe, has heard the warning, and she's just moved up to the outside
Oh, wait a
line.
minute, I think I see the 17 on the apron.
Oh, he is.
He is on the apron. I think he must have a motor problem.
I think he has a tire going down.
Either a tire or a motor, but I think it is a tire because I don't see any smoke coming out of that car. Or
Yeah,
at
I
least
believe it's
as
a
of
tire
yet.
problem.
Let's go
Yeah,
back
he's
up
pretty
front.
slow.
Oh, 3 wide for the lead. Austin Weiner, Matt McIntyre, and Ian Siegel. And Ian Siegel's going to go to the lead now.
I see that Jess has found herself back in line.
There's still a good number of these cars that are in this pack that could still win this
Oh,
race.
the 11 looked like he tried to let the 18 in the 18 in line, but he didn't take it.
Here's something. Penske 1-2 right now. Ian Siegel, the leader. Dylan Young in second. Great day for Penske right now. Or
Yeah,
great night.
indeed, yeah. But Ian Siegel, I think he's the one who's hungrier out of the two because he has had a very frustrating season. And as I say that, here comes Dylan Young, but now it's going to be, looks like 3 wide once again because here comes the 20 of Nick Smith. I saw some dirt. I believe that might have been from the
That
17.
that was from the 17.
Which, by the way, when we come to the stripe, we're going to check and see where is the 17 right now, if he's
I think
out
he should
or
be on pit
he's...
road right now.
Yeah, I think he's on pit road.
But Nick Smith's going to lead the lap. Let's check. No, he's out of the race.
I wonder. Yeah, he must have took his car. He must have broke a gear or something.
Probably
Yeah.
a shift or something.
Yeah, maybe. But as now we are seeing... Oh, and we got a wreck. Dylan Young gets turned, but he saves it. Jessica Sheldon, Matt McIntyre.
Oh man, it was a big wreck, and that was towards
Michael
the
Norman. Oh, Chris Dollarton. Oh, my God. Rue McIntyre. Zachary Fitzwater. Oh, my God.
Oh my goodness.
And Chris and Zachary Fitzwater's not stopped moving.
Oh, the
Oh,
Poles that are involved.
Yeah, Cole Daly, Austin LaPlante, Henry Nova. There's LaPlante. Chris Washer for the 3rd race in a row runs into trouble.
I just noticed something. Where's the 5? Because 3
Well,
of them were-
Ibrahim involved. Trent Dunham, he got through. Michael Norman's got some damage, but he's still continuing. Chris Michaels got damage. There's Chris Dollarton. Danny Wells is involved once again. Ian Siegel, who is running right at the front. Zachary Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, Jessica Sheldon, the points leader. Noah Hart. Man, a lot of big-time cars and a lot of drivers who are running inside the top 10 in points were involved.
There's a lot of cars that were involved, but don't have a lot of damage.
Yeah, Dylan
He's
Young
one-
was got a piece of it, but he's still in the 4th spot.
Yeah, you want to know something? 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars got involved in that wreck. 3 of the 4. The 24, the 48, and the 88 all got involved.
And the 5 of Austin Weiner is still up here in the 2nd spot. But man, that was a big, big wreck. And I think Rue McIntyre, oh my God. I thought the ride Seth Cole took back at M&M's was wild, but oh my God, Rue McIntyre helicoptered 10 feet in the air over a bunch of cars. That's going to be an interesting ride to take when we go on board with him. But it looks like everybody's coming down pit road except for Ian Dutta and Cameron Bailey.
Yeah, that's kind of a questionable decision there, but you never know with the pit stops.
Yeah,
How
they'll have to pit. They will definitely have to pit before this race is over. This should be able to take them to the finish.
Yeah, we're going to go to the pit lane cam to see who is going to come out first and restart in the third spot.
If pending the other two don't pit.
Yeah. If they come down and pit next time by. But a lot of key contenders and drivers who were running in the top 10 in points got involved in that incident.
I think the 20 is gonna be the first one off.
Yeah, the 20's coming out, then the 43 to 39 to 36 to 38, then the 99 and the 5. And it looks like Austin LaPlante, let's keep an eye out on the 48. Is he going to be gone? Yes, he's retired. Tough break for Austin LaPlante.
There's a few more drivers getting out there. Oh, the one Trent Dunham's coming out right now.
18 of Charlie Rodriguez, and now here comes Charles Jackson, and it looks like that's Michael Norman getting ready to come out. And it is.
Oh, he's gonna. Oh yeah, he is. He's still out there.
Yeah, he was somewhat involved in that wreck. And there's Matt McIntyre completing his stop. He's coming out. But man, that was a pretty massive wreck we just had.
There had to be about at least 15 plus cars getting involved in that wreck.
Yeah. But your leader, at least for the time being, is going to be Cameron Bailey. We'll keep an eye out for this here in just a moment and see if he and Ian Dutta is coming down pit road this time by. If they don't, we will take a look at a replay as to what happened, to what brought out the caution for the second time here at Daytona. But we're still going to keep an eye out here, see if they're coming down.
Like they're coming.
Let's see.
Nope.
Nope, it doesn't look like they're coming. I guess they're staying out to get some track position. But anyways, we're going to take a look at a replay as to what brought out the caution for the second time tonight here at Daytona. Alright, well, here's a look at what happened. It looked like Matt McIntyre was going to try to get underneath Dylan Young, but he's going to clip that left rear, come down into Jessica Shelton, and then they come up in front of everybody, and that's how they get involved. But Shelton took a wild ride for a second. And there you see Austin LaPlante. And, oh, Chris Dollarton upside down. And then look at Rue McIntyre. Rue McIntyre, holy crap. And there's Zachary Fitzwater. Did anybody else get involved or hit the... Oh, there was when Washer got his damage. He barely clipped the 77, but it was enough to blow his motor out.
The 24 hit something, I believe. Yeah, the 24...
Yeah, he hit the 77 of Henry Nova. Let's watch the 8 car, see what happens with him. How does he get involved? He was way back here in the 19th spot when this happened.
He was technically the last car in this main pack, and he took off like a helicopter. Jeez.
He hit the back of the 34.
Oh, Zachary Fitzwater, that's where he gets his hit.
He got
and Cole Daly.
No, it was the car in front of Cole.
It was who was it?
I think it was the 20. I think it was the 20 that nailed him in the back.
Let's actually check helicopter real quickly.
Ooh. Yeah, see, it was
the 51 of Ibrahim and Cole Daly. They both hit him at the same time.
The 51.
Oh my god.
Also another ride there, the 9 cars flipping over side and side, and I don't think he landed on 4 wheels. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Man,
let's take a look at this.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's take a look at this from the helicopter camera. This will give us a great vantage point.
I think this is one of the craziest rides that didn't end up flipping, though. You have to admit that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was the 88 who hit him.
And he flew on top of the 22. Holy cow.
Yeah. And then the 34 took a barrel roll, I believe, or he must have.
Austin took a barrel roll. Oh, Noah Hart. That's how he got involved.
Yeah, and that got the 8 car up in the air for a split second.
Yeah, the 34 was flipping and the 9 car was flipping. Let's see. Yeah, the 8 car is going to bounce off the 34 right there.
And then there's Zachary Fitzwater who hit him, and then he got up in the air. And that's where the 9 car is going to start tumbling. And then he gets hit by the 51.
Ibrahim right there. And oh, man, that was just a hard hit right there.
Yeah. And then there was the hit right there from Noah Hart. Oh, I meant to go to the 9. And wow, look how far he went up ahead.
That's like half the backstretch. Holy cow.
Yeah, let's see this.
He's slowing down. He's already on the brakes. Hits him and then flips and then starts to slowly tumble and then he gets hit right there. I think that was the 51 again.
Yeah.
And it just keeps him going.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
that
still just
impact of that.
riding on his side and upside down the pavement part of the backstretch.
Yeah, the impact of that hit with that speed, it was gonna be a time of when he was gonna flip, and he just flipped right away too. And unfortunately, he's gonna land on his roof. So hopefully Fitzwater's okay. But man, that was a hard hit.
Yeah, and Fitzwater has had a very, very frustrating season. He comes in this race 41st in the points. He has just not been able to take off and get good finishes that
No,
much.
He
it's been the
teleports back to
strings
pit
of
road.
luck.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at Chris Washer, because he got barely a piece of it, but it was enough to get his motor to blow out. As he's back here, way back here in the 36th spot.
He sees everyone, and then he starts hitting the brakes. He's down to 53. He's coasting. Now he's definitely on the brakes. He sees it. He thinks he can get right
Yeah,
there,
right there,
and then
just
hits the
barely
wall.
sideswiped the 77 of Henry Nova, but it was enough to hit that part of the car that gets your motor to go out. And that is a tough break. And there you see Zachary Fitzwater. He almost went the entire pavement part. He was only
Yeah,
about 100 feet short. But man, that was just absolutely wicked. We're actually going to take a look at one more camera angle of the Rue McIntyre ride, and we're actually going to go to, I believe we're going to go to the spectator camera. This should give us an interesting perspective of this. As he's way back here in the 19th spot, the last car in the pack. Charles Jackson got a little piece of it, as too did Carlos Rodriguez.
the 18th squeezed by again.
Yeah, but watch this hit right there from the 88. Wow. Right over top of the 22 car, and then the 22 is going to hit him. And then look at the 56 right there into the 22 and into the 8 and got him up on two wheels for a second. We're actually going to go through about 6 onboards. We're going to go on board with the 8, the 34, the 9, the 2, the 22, and the 56. All right, on the rear end camera of the 2 of Dylan Young. And right there he gets clipped by the 42, but he saves it, but everybody else behind him get involved for the most part. There you see when the 9 and the 34, wow.
Yeah,
All the way back there you saw the 8 go flying up in the air all the way back there.
that was huge.
On board with the 7 of Zachary Fitzwater, who was in the 20th spot, way back behind the lead pack when this happened. As there you see it starts right up in front, and then he, I believe, is going to hit the 34.
He's still full throttle, and then
right
he
there.
slams him.
And then right there, it flipped him the other way when he got hit by the 51. He still was pirouetting, and then he starts continuing to spin and slide down the backstretch upside down. On board with the 34 of Chris Dollarton, who takes a pretty wild ride in this incident. He was in the 15th spot. He was right around this pack when this started. There you see it happens right in front of him.
He goes right up to the wall, and then right there he just gets clipped. And oh my gosh,
He actually didn't flip at all. He actually just went on two wheels for the most part. So he was very lucky he didn't go upside down. But man, that was wild nonetheless. On board with the 22 of Ian Siegel, who was running inside the top 10 at the time. There you see the wreck's going to happen right up in front. Right there he gets a little side swipe from Charlie Rodriguez. And wow!
oh my God.
There you saw the 8 car flying over top of his roof. And Ian Siegel's motor just dies and he had to teleport to pit road, so he is going to be out. But that was just crazy. On board with the 56 of Noah Hart, who was running in the 33rd spot, way back here.
His teammate, and he tried to pass him down low. He doesn't even see the incident because he's just
And there you see
back.
there's the smoke up ahead. And he's
By now,
slowing
his
down a
telling
little
him to
bit.
slow down.
And then he's going to get right there into Ian Siegel and then in the cold alley.
That was a hard impact. He almost thought he had it clear. I wouldn't be so sure if he was trying to start accelerating again.
Yeah, but that was a tough break for the 56 of Noah Hart. Final on board is with the 8 of Rue McIntyre, who was in the back of the pack when this happened in 19th. And this is going to be a ride that he is never going to forget.
See, he's already slamming the brakes hard. He's under 100 miles an hour at this point.
Wow, and there you see over top of the 22, continues to spin, and then right there he's up on two wheels after a hit from the 56. But man, that was just a lot of hard hits and a few wild rides, but that took out quite a lot of drivers, including the points leader right there up in front of the 8 of Jessica Shelton. But
Yeah.
now we are done with the replays. We will now take you to the restart. Alright, so pace car lights are out, which means we will go green next time by, but the updated list of drivers out of the race are Austin LaPlante, Chris Washer, Zachary Fitzwater, Jessica Sheldon, Noah Hart, Rue McIntyre, Cole Daly, Henry Nova, Ian Siegel, Chris Dollarton, Danny Wells, Ibrahim, Sonny Hammond they joined Chris Oliver, Dylan Thero, Tommy Mooney, and Chris Nelson
I want
as
to know what
drivers out of the
happened at
race.
17 because remember he was on the apron and with a big problem before that wreck happened.
Yeah, I believe if I can make a speculation, I believe he must have had like a drivetrain issue or something to do with his motor. But we're taking a look at the field. Cameron Bailey is your leader. Ian Dutta second. Third is Henrietta Fitzwater. Fourth, Cody Lamas. Fifth, Daniel Day. Sixth, Nathan Hudson. Seventh, Carlos Rodriguez. Eighth, Cody Hagan. Ninth, Austin Weiner. And without a hood and involved in one of the previous wrecks, Chris Michaels in the 10th spot. Then it's Joshua Michaels. Yeah, Joshua Michaels in the 11th spot. Then David Rivera 12th. Dylan Young 13th. Eric Burden 14th. Fred Schaefer 15th. Then it's Jordan Culp, Barney Taylor, Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, Trent Dunham, Charlie Rodriguez, Charles Jackson, Michael Norman, Matt McIntyre, and Nick Smith back here. And those are all the drivers who are still left on the track. We only have 25 cars left on the racetrack.
That 7 car is gonna definitely hold up traffic.
We'll
He's gonna
see.
have to move to the high line or something.
We'll check. We're gonna keep an eye out here on the 7, see if he
Green
is up
flag
to
is back
speed or
out.
not. Well, here we go. He got to the throttle pretty good, and he had a good start right there. So, I guess
If he has
somehow,
no
some
hood.
way. Well, let's keep an eye out. He actually looks to be up to speed because he's running along with these guys pretty decently. So, I guess the 7 car, at least for now, is up to speed. Maybe not. Let's see. He's running about 5 miles per hour less than everybody else, so he is not quite up to speed. But he's still running there. Now let's go up to the 10, and he still leads. As it's single file, pretty much everybody on back to the 30. And we are now 14 laps to go here in the Pepsi 400. And it is Cameron Bailey, the leader. Now here comes Henrietta Fitzwater, the husband to Zachary Fitzwater and teammate for Richard Petty Motorsports. She's going to try to go for the lead. And there you see Cody Lamas, who is hungry for a win, and now he's going to go to the inside. And he's got Daniel Day in the 36 for Tommy Baldwin right behind him. And right behind Daniel Day is Cody Lamas' teammate Ian Dutta, and then Austin Weiner, and then 2 cars back here. You've got Nathan Hudson and Carlos Rodriguez. Cody Hagan, even though he has rear end damage. Oh, and here comes Ian Dutta to pit road. But Cameron Bailey's still staying out. But I was going to say Cody Hagan's got rear end damage, but he's still up to speed and running up here in this lead pack. As Cody Lamas is your leader at the moment.
Cody Lamas, I've seen people say that Cody Lamas has the worst luck in NR 2003 history, but right now he's trying to prove them wrong as he's about to get past in a 3-wide battle for the lead.
Yeah, with Daniel Day and Cameron Bailey, and it's going to be 3 wide. Now it's going to be back double wide.
10 couldn't quite get up there. What happened to the rest of the pack? Did they just all die?
I think it might have been from when the 7 was holding them up. Let's see, where is the 7 at the moment? Yeah, he ain't up to speed. I thought he was, but he isn't. He's only going 173. Everybody else are going in the 180s, 190s. So yeah, the pack got pretty separated after the 7 car was in the way, but If we have another caution, oh wait a minute, that's Ian Dutta just coming out of pit road, and
Oh
Daniel
no, there's
Day
one
is
more.
your leader.
Who else? Who else stayed out? It wasn't Ian Dutta, and who else stayed out?
The
The 10,
10
right?
and the 10, and
So
he hasn't come down pit road yet. So we'll be keeping an eye out here on the 10 car as he's going to get passed by the 5 of Austin Weiner for the
if he's
fifth or the fourth position.
well,
Let's
if he's
keep an
gonna go
eye
to
out
pit
on the
road, he better let him
10.
go.
Yeah, let's
Oh, it
see.
looked like a cars. Oh, it almost looked like cars are coming to pit road because it looked like they just started to slow up a little bit.
And Cameron Bailey's still not coming. I don't know what's the strategy, but we are 11 laps to go. And there's Dylan Young. I guess this pack's starting to catch up a little bit to the lead pack, but they are still pretty spread out. And Cody Lamas is going to get the lead back, and he's got Henrietta Fitzwater pushing him. So right now we've got a 7-car pack, I could say. And now here comes Henrietta Fitzwater to the bottom to try to retake the lead, as she's got Austin Weiner pushing him with Cameron Bailey right behind him. Let's keep an eye out on that 10.
If these
Yeah,
cars,
he's coming down this time.
if these cars could
And
just
Daniel Day.
if these cars could just keep racing side by side like that, you should see another these like this pack here start catching them.
Yeah, and Ian Dutta, even though he's a lap down, he's still running very well. And he's got Seth Cole pushing him. And Charles Jackson's in this pack, as do is Michael Norman, Dylan Young, Kyle Matthews, Jordan Culp, who was involved in the first caution. Trent Dunham's on the apron. Did he come down pit road? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's building his speed up. He did come down pit road. Yeah, people are going to start coming down pit road here pretty much any time now. There's Matt McIntyre who came out of pit road, but he is not up to speed. There's the 10 and the 36 coming out, and the 5 of Austin Weiner is your leader at the moment. And now here comes Cody Lamas back to the inside.
This has pretty much turned into a 3-car battle unless these cars have to pit.
Yeah.
Let's
And
check and see if there's any more cars on pit road.
Yeah, let's go to the pit lane cam.
No.
Doesn't look like anybody's there, or that could just be glitched, but Cody Lamas is your leader with Henrietta Fitzwater second, Austin Weiner third, Cody Hagan fourth, fifth is Nathan Hudson. And now there's sixth place, which is Nick Smith and Barney Taylor, Kyle Matthews, Charles Jackson, your top 10. Here comes Jordan Culp to pit road. Don't see anybody else coming. But Cody Lamas still is your leader. This race has kind of turned into almost to an exact reenactment of the Daytona 500. It was pretty much like this, where it was just very few cars battling in the lead pack and everybody else was separated from pit stops. And now Austin Weiner going to try to go underneath the 43 for the second spot and follow the 39 of Cody Lamas. Let's keep an eye out, see if they're going to come down now. Cody Lamas,
Cody
he's
Lamas
coming down.
to pit road, and
So is Henrietta Fitzwater and Cody Hagan, but Austin Weiner's going to stay out.
see if anybody else behind him is coming too.
Eric Burden, there's Chris Michaels on pit road. Nathan Hudson, and here comes Nick Smith, Kyle Matthews, Michael Norman, Dylan Young, Carlos Rodriguez, Joshua Michaels, David Rivera, all coming down. There's Jordan Culp, who just came off of pit road, and there is your leader, Austin Weiner. He's getting ready to pass Matt McIntyre, put him another lap down.
This could be good strategy by the 5. He'll probably come in this time, take fuel only, and go and just cruise on to victory.
So yeah, we'll see. Let's see if he's coming down this time, and he is. He is coming down the pit road right
42
now.
is coming down again.
Yeah, I think they're trying to still repair damage on his car. And there goes Joshua Michaels and David Rivera just now leaving pit road.
He might have been speeding also.
And there you see the 5 of Austin Weiner. And he was last scored as a leader with Barney Taylor second. That's where they have him scored at the moment. And he's going to go with 2 left side tires. And there's Eric Bird, Charles Jackson, Seth Cole all down on pit road. They were second, third, and fourth. So Austin Weiner went with fuel and 2 left side tires. That is one thing I don't understand. Sometimes we see these drivers take left side tires only, and usually they always go with right sides because right sides are a little more important. But it's just kind of strange to see that. But Austin Weiner, let's see, it's Cody Lamas could be the second guy to get to second. If he can get up around the 5 of Austin Weiner, Cody Lamas could be your new leader. Here he comes. Can Austin Weiner get up to speed fast enough? As here comes the 39. Let's see.
It's gonna be close. I think he should be up to speed by the time they reach him.
Yeah, Austin's going about 13 miles per hour slower, but he's still got a pretty big gap. I believe once they get to the trial, they will all be reconnected. But Austin Weiner did a great strategy of going with fuel only and 2 left side tires to keep himself up front. And I think he's going to keep the lead, at least for now, because here comes Cody Lamas. 5 laps to go. And there's Cody Lamas getting ready to come up to the high line. And there's Chris Michaels up ahead. And it's side by side, and here comes Henrietta Fitzwater.
He has him just about cleared on that outside line. Is there something wrong with the 5?
No, he's just still building his speed up. Now he's up to speed with everybody. Now he's going to tuck in line behind the 43. So now the 3-car battle that we had earlier is going to continue with the 5, the 43, and the 39.
If this is turning into a 2-car battle, the 5 is losing ground.
He's going the same speed as the 2 drivers up ahead, and Cody Hagan kind of lurking back there. And it is 4 laps to go here in the Pepsi 400. And here comes Henrietta Fitzwater. Henrietta Fitzwater going to the inside to try to retake the lead, but they're going to encounter the 7 of Chris Michaels. This could stir up some problems for these leaders.
There's a car in the grass up ahead. I saw some dirt flying on the backstretch.
Oh, and now there are on the 7. Uh-oh. He's going to hold up. He's going to hold up the 43 and the 5, and that's going to have Cody Hagan. And here comes Cody Hagan like a rocket coming into this picture. Yeah, the 43 and the 5 are getting held up, so now Cody Hagan's now all of a sudden up here. Cody Lamas is going to get a bigger lead, but Chris Michaels needs to move himself up to the high line right now. Now they're going to move down to the bottom and get around him. But man, that was pretty costly for the 43 and the 5, but they're working together, so they might be able to catch up to the 99 and the 39. And we got 3 laps to go, so it's plenty of time for them two to catch back up.
99 for having some rear damage to his car and running second right now. That's probably why he can't close up, because of that rear damage.
Yeah.
Cody Lamas is... I personally believe that Cody Lamas has this now, because they're racing side by side, and that 99 car cannot close up.
Unless he can get somebody to get in behind him when they catch him and then work together. But it's still a 4-car battle for what could be the win, and it's 2 laps to go. Cody Lamas has about a 3 to 4 car length gap between himself and Cody Hagan. Now Austin Weiner's caught up to the back bumper of the Cody Hagan, so we're going to see one of these 4 going to win the race, and all of them together, they're going to catch the 39 right now. Now the 43 and the 5 are going to work together underneath the 99.
No,
see if
3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide for the second spot. Let's see if there's anybody up ahead. There's the 31 and the 55. They're about to cross the start-finish line. Cody Lamas is enjoying this, having those drivers race each other. And they are getting ready to come to the white flag. And it'll be 1 lap to go for Cody Lamas. Henrietta Fitzwater's got second for the moment. These guys got to bunch up and get together if they're going to catch that 39. There's Ian Dutta coming out of pit road again.
Well, they're good now. They're single file. They gotta hold it together.
Yeah, they need to work together, but now that's not going to happen because Austin Weiner's going to try to take second from the 43. Cody Lamas is enjoying this because he's still got a 2-car length gap between himself and second. I don't think anybody's going to get him, but Henrietta Fitzwater is trying. She is trying, and there's Michael Norman up there, but they don't... Whoa, wait a minute. Nope. I think Cody Lamas is going to have it. Cody Lamas in the U.S. Army Stewart-Haas racing car is going to get his first win of the season, and he's going to get it in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Great job. I knew it was only a matter of time before that 39 was going to get to victory lane, and he finally does it. Cody Lamas gets his first win of the season and a potential spot in the chase. Great job for Cody Lamas.
Yep.
That was an interesting four-car battle we had at the very end between Lamas, Fitzwater, Weiner, and Hagan.
Yeah, it is.
But man, that was pretty good racing despite a lot of cars being out. But nonetheless, Cody Lamas, who came into this race, we're going to check, in the 14th spot in the points. He can move himself into the top 10, considering how a lot of drivers up ahead of him had troubles. But take a look at the official results. Cody Lamas is going to win this race. Great job for that 39 car. Henrietta
rallies back to 5th.
Yeah, Henrietta Fitzwater, highest finish of her career. She's going to come away with 2nd. Great job for her. Austin Weiner, one of the best cars of the race, is going to come away with a 3rd place finish. Great job for him. Cody Lamas, even with rear end damage, he was up there in that battle for the win. He's going to get 4th. Great run for him. 5th, Dylan Young. How he rebounded from nearly spinning out is beyond me. He's going to get 5th place. Great run for him. Daniel Day, 6th place. Another solid finish for that 36 team. Great job. Cameron Bailey gets one of his highest finishes of the season. He's going to come away with 7th. Kyle Matthews, he has been stepping it up. Top 10s almost every race for the past 5 weeks. He's going to come away with another top 10 and 8th. Carlos Rodriguez 9th, and Barney Taylor rounds out the top 10. We'll keep an eye out on that point situation once we get through these results. Charles Jackson gets 11th. Great run for him. Jordan Culp in 12th, and Nathan Hudson, Nick Smith, and Seth Cole rounds out the top 15. Then Charlie Rodriguez, Trent Dunham, Joshua Michaels, David Rivera, and Eric Burden rounds out the top 20. Then the last car to finish on the lead lap was Fred Schaefer. And the next 4 cars were a lap or 2 down from pit stops or were not up to speed. Ian Dutta, Chris Michaels, Matt McIntyre, and Michael Norman. And then everybody else was out of the race. Austin LaPlante, Chris Washer, Zachary Fitzwater, Jessica Shelton, Noah Hart, Rue McIntyre, Cole Daly, Henry Nova, Ian Siegel, Chris Dollarton, Danny Wells, Ibrahim, Sonny Hammond, Chris Oliver, Dylan Thero, Tommy Mooney, and Chris Nelson. Now the points coming into this race, Jessica Shelton came in with a 32 points advantage over Barney Taylor. Barney Taylor got 10th, and Jessica Shelton finished 29th. So from the looks of it, 19 points were gained by Barney Taylor. So he's going to be in 2nd, but only about 13 points behind Jessica Shelton going into the next race, which will be at Chicago. But anyways, that's going to do it for this race here at Daytona. Once again, after this video goes off, we will show you the results one more time, as well as the updated point standings. But I would like to thank Michael Norman and Dylan Young for commentating this race. I really apologize that Dylan Young didn't commentate the second half. He had to go do something. But thank you, Michael Norman, for coming in to commentate with me.
No problem. I'd love to do it, man. Great racing here at Daytona.
Yep.
Maybe do it again sometime.
Yes. But anyways, guys, here we're going to show you the points and the results one more time. And until Chicago, this is Levi McIntyre saying so long, everybody.